Let's do something to pay off the loan and get a new truck. So, I'm kind of tired of having a loan, um, especially one of $320,000. So, I have a plan, and it's kind of dumb and will make sense afterwards. It makes sense in my head, but it probably don't make a bit of sense to anyone else because of how I'm going to go about doing this. So, I'm going to take this here Peterbilt 579. I'm going to drive it. It's probably going to be raining. Of course, it is. I'm going to take the reefer trailer that I've spent $130,000 on. I'm going to sell it. And then the truck that I just borrowed, I'm going to also sell it. That puts me at just over the amount that I need to pay off the loan. And I mean barely over the amount to pay off the loan. I have $278 in my bank account at the moment. So that means I ain't got a truck unless I take someone's truck. Because I'm letting Phil use my 5700 Western Star. And I don't really want to take the 49X from Amy because she's actually doing pretty good. Don't really want to take the 389. So that leaves me with, a couple very dumb options, kind of. Um, One of them is to just do quick jobs. Been a while since I've done this, but you know what? I can do that again. It doesn't matter to me. Let's see. Let's go to Sterling. How about that? Frozen vegetables. Pays $20,000. So, yeah, let's do it. I'm going to, of course, need to adjust my seat. Field of view to 90 degrees. Seat position. All the way up. And there we go. Let's go. That is way too quiet. I'm not used to hauling doubles, so I'm probably going to screw this up. This truck feels weak. Oh boy. This feels like it has a 370 horse in it, or less. Could just be the gearing, I guess. I think it is the gearing, because that's... Yeah, I definitely believe it's the gearing. A little too tall for it. With the amount of weight we're hauling anyway. Which I don't really know how much is actually being hauled, but I don't really care, to be honest with you. They gave me a truck that can do it, supposedly, so... I honestly need to adjust the mirrors. Let me do that real quick, because that's going to get on my nerves. That one do about right there, and this one do about right there. And the one on the right's a little far in, but it'll be fine. Doubles is actually one thing that I don't think I've ever hauled. No, they're annoying as hell. Oh, it's a body roll with this truck. Please explain why we have to stop. Turn right. It's actually a Rocky Mountain double. Which, I mean, kind of, I guess, makes sense since we're in the Rockies. I don't see an 80-mile-an-hour speed limit in my future anytime soon. Yeah, so, finally paid off the loan. After this, I'm going to get another truck. I'm going to get a new truck. Brand new truck. That's what I actually want to get, is a brand new truck. Which means I'm probably going to end up taking out another loan. You know, because that's how you do it, right? You spend some money, sell some stuff, pay off the loan, and then take out another loan, to buy a new truck. That makes sense, right? It would really help if I could keep thin lines. Yeah, this has a 6-speed automatic in it. That's definitely an issue. Yes, I was speeding, but I want to get around these fools. Of course, as soon as I go back down to, 65, speed limit goes up. And naturally, now I'm going up a freaking hill, so I'm not going to get to 70 to set the cruise until I start going downhill. And we're back down to 65. That is why I put bigger horsepower motors in my trucks. Not because they actually, needed to haul stuff, just so that I can actually, get up to speed. I'm not really using the motors or engines to their full potential. Because, I have an 800 horse Cummins and I'm hauling 35,000 pounds. Not 70 or 80 or 90,000 pounds, just 35. So, yeah. The truck that I want to get is a brand new 2019 Cascadia. Granted, this is 2026, so calling it brand new when it's a 2019 model is not really relevant, I guess, or whatever. Like, not really right. Um, they don't have the 2026 model in. They have the 2019 and the regular Cascadia. I don't know what the difference is. I really don't. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it. The truck doesn't have stacks, and it's down to 55. Why? I don't understand why it's 55 through here. Like, I really don't. Or 50 through here. Also, don't really understand why it's raining still. The sun's out, for crying out loud. Like, it's blue freaking skies. Why is it storming? Why is it? Why? Why is it raining? Of course, it's probably just my graphic settings. There's the river. I do believe that is a branch of the Colorado. You know, the engine that I really wish I could put in one of these trucks is Detroit uh, 8V71, or is it an 8V71 or 12V71? I don't know. Anyway, the two strokes. One of the two strokes. They absolutely scream, but they have really cool, like, they're really cool engine. Now, I have a truck mod for Freightliner cab over. And I also have one for a Peterbilt cab over. But they don't really work with the current updates. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is, right? Speed limit's now 65. Why it was 50 through there, I will never understand, but yeah, it is what it is. I've been in the left lane for quite a while. I got straight back. Can't really do that while driving with a controller, so yeah. Fixing to go up the mountain to go through the Eisenhower Tunnel. One of the YouTube channels that I watch every once in a while, called Fast Lane Truck, they do what they call the Ike Gauntlet, which is a pickup truck hauling its max weight up up this interstate to the Eisenhower Tunnel. Come on, drop a gear. Drop a gear. There you go. Drop another gear. Do I have to do everything myself? Really need you to drop gear. Should be in third right now, but we're not. It wants to hold fourth. You can't really tell that you're going up a hill, except for the fact that, you know, the truck is struggling. You are technically supposed to put your flashers on when you're going below 55 mile an hour up a hill. Apparently. I don't do that because that sound will drive me insane. So we're not doing that. There we go. Now we're starting to flatten out. And this isn't even the top of the mountain. Now the question becomes, is it raining on the other side? Answer is, of course it is. Because why wouldn't it? You know? Feeling at 65 going down the hill. You know, I wouldn't mind going back to Moab sometime. Why are you slowing down? Now it's 45. We can do 45. Don't have to do 40. This has an automatic retarder on it too. Okay. Eh, this truck is plenty capable of doing what needs to be done, but honestly, I really wish I had taken something else. One of mine, that is. So, I've been thinking, like, when to do a ETS series, by the way. And I'm thinking at 100 episodes, which isn't that far away. Like, that will be probably December of this year, honestly. At the rate the videos are going, yeah. I mean, this is 42, and it's, uh, I'm recording it in April, and you're gonna see it, like, around the first part of June. Like, the late May, early June, um, is when this is gonna be out. So, you figure the 50 episodes, like if this is going to be around the 1st of June, for example, then episode 52 will be around the 1st of July, 62 will be August, and then there's, uh, yeah, the rest of the month. So it will be like December or January of 27. Which is kind of funny because um, I could honestly record a year's worth of videos in 1 month and just upload them all at one time and just have them scheduled. Eh. Because I'm doing the schedule Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you know, and I'm recording these several weeks in advance, like a long time in advance. Um, yeah, I could honestly just record all the videos in a month or so, and yeah, I just realized I could speed up. Not really paying attention to speed limits. kind of happy at, 60, 65, to be honest with you. But, you know. Yeah, anyway, the ETS series would be like next year, basically. Which is kind of wild to think about. See, that bulldozer is loaded correctly. It's loaded with the blade facing backwards, so it's not a gigantic wall. And it's being hauled by a Mack truck. I need to get over. It has rained the entire freaking trip. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think, like, by the time you see this video, I may have gotten the money to get the DLC and stuff. So I might be on, like, episode 50 playing the DLC maps. We're going whether or not there's people coming or not. I can't really see out the window. It's not really like a shift. I know what's weird is, like, speaking about shifting transmissions and stuff. Of course, there's a red light, and it's red, naturally. It works really well. But what's weird is, like, some transmissions want to see higher RPM, like, they won't even shift without reprogramming, like this engine, for example, only revs to 2,000 RPM. It won't go any further. That's what the governor has it set at. And there's been a few times that I've noticed that it almost does not want to shift. Like now, it almost will not shift. It does, but it doesn't really want to. You know, it wants to either go a little faster or see a little higher RPM. Which would also be going faster. I could turn left here. I could turn left here instead of going up to the next red light and turning, but still gonna have the same amount of turns no matter what I do, so yeah. Let's see, something that I've actually considered doing, I think I've mentioned this in a video before, is getting just like a fleet truck. Just getting like a plain sleeper cab, cheap truck, and that's my fleet truck. You know, put 600 horse motors in them and call it a fleet truck. And the reason that I want to do that is so that like it's, you know, cheaper than getting the fancy trucks. And like I could have a garage that is just fancy trucks for me, basically. That would also never get driven unless I drive them. So they would be sitting there being $100,000 chunks of steel that are not making me money. So I've gone back and forth on the idea a few times. But I honestly think that I might do that to one garage. Like the next garage that I purchase, I may do just a simple like fleet truck. May do Volvo or something, just basic gray Volvo, like 500 or 600 horse motor, and be done with it. Not bad, not bad at all. 19,000. With the drivers that I have, you know, I got 41,756 out of it, which is pretty good. Not gonna lie, pretty good. So I can buy me a new truck. When I say new, I don't actually mean new. I mean new to me. uh, you know, I don't have a Mac, and I really wish I had waited to get my Western Star because that is a nice looking paint job. Of course, I can change paint job, I guess. That's a nice looking International. Another Volvo. Another Western Star. Single stack. I don't really like that. Let's see. There's no Freightliners available. Alright, there's a Matt Anthem. What Mac do I have? I have a Pinnacle. Let's see. The issue is simply I don't have the money for what I want. If I get a Mac, it's going to be a Pinnacle, but I want a Freightliner. So, yeah, that's kind of where that's at. My end goal is to get a Freightliner. That's just all there is to it. I want a Freightliner at some point. Let's see, T680s, W9, that's way out of my price range. Way out of my price range. can do either one of these is actually pretty nice. The Aerodyne Sleeper. I kind of like this color, to be honest with you. 450 horse. 450 horse. I don't know. I think that can wait till next episode. How about y'all? Well, actually, it's gonna wait till next episode. Don't really have a choice. This video is getting a little long, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off here. And yeah, if you liked the video made it to this point, please leave a like and comment down below what you thought. And if you haven't already, consider hitting the subscribe button. And when you do hit the subscribe button, don't forget to hit the little bell icon so you get notified when I upload videos. And yeah, I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.